when I was a kid, I used to see this commercial all the time about Big Brothers,
Yeah.
And I used to kind of wonder, like, what would that be like if I had a big brother? I think sports are really good for you. But for me, I kind of found my own role models. And, this trail life troop at this point, I'm 65 and I really enjoy it. I enjoy watching them grow up. I mean, I give them a lot of crap. I do. I'll admit it.
You have to.
Yeah, you do. And they take it and they like it.
They do.
So that's the big
Well,
thing.
it's funny. Kids have this kind of innate sense, as long as you're not going over the line and being abusive, they have this sense like, if you're not teasing me, you don't like me, And I mean, I think there's a lot to that. I really do.
I think boys, if you say you're an idiot, they love it because they're like, I'm in. He's noticed me. You tell a girl she's an idiot, she melts. And so you got to be careful.
Yeah, you have to know them.
But I'll tell you this. Some of the best mentorship I've had in the last couple of years, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention. So a really good family in Kalispell, the Paulsons, Jim Paulson and his wife Sunny. They're just fantastic people, and so Jim told me one time, he said, I really want you to meet my granddaughter, Isabella. And, I had no idea who he was talking about. And I said, why do you want her to meet me? He goes, I just wanted to meet you. He'd been in the hospital, and I think he was thinking, I want to make sure somebody's watching out while I'm rehabbing. I do. So I meet this girl, incredible, just an incredible little girl. So anyway, she was kind of quiet, and I just talked to her for a little bit, and then I had to go. So her grandfather told me, she said, what's his real name? And he said, oh, well, that's Colonel Bristol. He's a famous Marine hero. He's famous. And she said, yeah, but Colonel, that's not a name. Like, what's his real name? What's his real name? And he said, well, his real name is George. And so she said it like 3 or 4 times. She goes, George. She might be one of the only people in Flathead County that calls me George.
That's awesome.
And so, there have been times with her, I try to see her when I can. And, I told her, we're going to have a granddaughter pretty soon. And she said, George, I'm going to help you be a really good grandfather. But the best thing in the world is when, and I know her and I care about her and I know she loves me. She tells me that all the time. And, I don't get to see her that much. And I've made real solid rules because of what I'm doing. Like, she's like, well, could I take a ride with you? And I said, honey, you're never going to take a ride with me. Take a ride with your parents when you grow up. And, I've told her, like, if somebody makes you feel funny, you get away from them right away. And she's about 8 years old going on 80. But, Jesse, there's nothing better. I went to see her one time, and I had been gone for a while, down south. And she said, George, I want to tell you something. And she's got pretty thick glasses. She was really close to my face. And she said, George, when you go sometimes, she said, my stomach hurts and my eyes get all watery. And I was thinking like, and her mom and dad, who are great people, they're always telling me how much I spoil her. And I told them once, I said, I could buy her something every day for 1,000 days, and it wouldn't mean as much to me as the fact. And she tells everybody that she's my best friend, and I'm her best friend.
Oh, that's cool.
So, that's probably, one of the girls that I don't know if I mentor. I think she mentors me.
Oh, no, absolutely. No. Yeah. But don't you feel like, though, like when you're giving something to somebody, I mean, that's the greatest gift ever.
Definitely.
I mean, it's so much better to give to somebody and watch them benefit from it.
Yeah.
It's so much better.
And it's, and the other thing with her, so her grandmother asked me, she said, George, I know this is a big ask, but I'd like you to put on your dress blues, and take a picture with Isabella. So when she's older, she'll know. So we did. And I had bought her this Wonder Woman costume that she put on. So they took some pictures, and I mean, I could break any camera, but so when we got done, she was just looking at me and I said, honey, what's the matter? And she said, I know all that's supposed to mean something. She said, but I don't recognize you like that. And so I said, do you want me to change? And she said, I do. She goes, are you mad at me? I said, no. So I went in and, came out looking like I do right now. And she took me by the hand and she said, "That's my George. That's the
That's
George I
awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's
That's so
fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And what a cool thing, because you've been recognized your entire life for somebody that wears that.
Yep.
And then for have someone see just you
Yeah.
and not know any different. That's
Yeah,
that's amazing.
I bought her a Marine Corps sweatshirt though. She likes that.
Oh yeah.
she
Well,
likes
yeah,
that.
because it's soft, right?
That's marketing. That's marketing.
Good
yeah.
for you. Good for you.